Welcome back. If you haven't seen it already, I've already designed my chest board, my chest pieces, and today we're going to be making this chest box. To start off the build, I've measured and cut out the body pieces out of some plywood, and now I'm just going to be adding some finger joints to hold everything together. You can see here how well the pieces go together. You want them to be pretty snug, but you don't have to force anything. This took a little bit of trial and error to get the jig working just the way I wanted it to. All right, a little tight here, so that'll take a little bit of convincing, but oh, there we go. Here we're cutting the groove for the divider. So I cut it once, flip it just to make sure that it is completely centered, but also my blade is not quite thick enough to make a groove the width that I need for the divider. So that second pass is adding just a little bit of extra room. And we're gonna simply do the exact same thing on the other side. To give room for the top piece to slide in, we have to cut a little bit off the front face, which is what we're doing here. We get to use that same spacer that we had for cutting the front face off to start making the grooves for the top to slide in. So just cutting that on all three of the other sides that are not the front face. Now it's just a matter of cutting those final couple pieces, getting the divider cut, the top cut, and the bottom cut. So we can move on to gluing. We finally got it all locked up. Got the base plate that's going to be at the bottom. Got the lid. Got the divider, which we're going to take those out. Ooh, kind of sharp. And we're just going to glue all this. I'll come back through once everything's dried and clean up some of these edges a bit. Wobbly, but I think once it's attached to this, everything will kind of figure itself out. Just get to gluing. Got the napkins, a little table salt. Helps with things not to slide around a little bit. I pre-clamp all the pieces after they've been glued just so I can get a little bit of that glue squeeze out early and just keep everything a little bit clean. The salt actually helps just keep the friction up. If you've ever glued anything together without it, you know that things slide all over the place, so it just helps mitigate that. Hear it, that salt crunching a little bit, but that's getting all that friction that we need in there. I use a little 1-2-3 block clamped in here just to keep everything square for a while. I end up removing it once we're clamped down really hard, but use that as many clamps as you can. We're gonna leave that for a little bit. I'll probably move it inside because it is freezing cold in the garage right now. It's a new day. The glue is dry. The pieces are cut. We need to sand and do a little bit of finishing, maybe knock down some hard edges, but we're kind of at the finish line at this point. Okay, so now the internal piece fits really well, and then the top piece I'm going to cut down just a little, mark that, cut that real quick, and then I'm also going to drill a hole right about there just so I have a little piece to grab onto. So cut that about there. Be right back. All right, cut that. So it fits nice and flush. We can drill a little hole. If I can get it out of here with all this. That worked terribly. Ugh, hate these things. Well, let's clean that up. I need better hole saws. Hole drills. I need better drill bits for drilling big holes. That's not perfect, but that'll work. I got a little hole, grab it, pull it out. Easy peasy. Final thing to do now is do a little bit of finishing. Actually, before the finishing, I want to stamp my little logo into this. So I have a little stamp that I 3D printed. And I just want to know if shellac will make this bleed or anything like that. So I'm just gonna do a quick test. My little F logo for Fruch. Yeah, obviously I'll line it up a little bit better, but doesn't look too bad. The question is, do I put it? Let's try it on that too. Got an extra piece. Kind of slipped while applying that one, but we're just doing a test. Okay, so before, then after. Before, after. Not too bad. Not super noticeable. I think I like this one better. Hey! For just freehanding it, I'll take it. I have heard I need to get shellac flakes. If anyone out there has tried them and can recommend a place, let me know. You down right there. And I'll probably come back and do one more coat once this dries. Give it about 10 minutes. Shellac's pretty quick. Just got done with the last couple layers. A little bit of shellac and then a little bit of sanding, and then I gave it a little coat of wax just because I decided I want to. I think it gives it kind of that vintage look, gives it a little bit of a shine, really helps things pop a little bit. I wasn't really sure what it would do to it, but this is just hardboard that I also shellacked, but it just darkened everything up. And I think that the contrast between the two looks kind of nice. So everything fits together, but I think just like the pieces have the little bit of orange felt is what I did on the bottom of these bad boys. And just to make this a little bit more silent with the pieces rocking around, I'm gonna take a little bit of felt and stick it in the bottom. Just kind of finish it out a little bit. I know the orange isn't the most vintage looking, but I like it. I like the look. So, the inside of that's finished. Got the pieces. Let's add the divider first. Just kind of slide it into that little slot that we cut at the beginning. I didn't want this thing to be massive. I didn't leave too much room for error just so it would be nice and trim, but yeah. Just like that. And then take this. It's been snowing and neighbor's getting my front porch for me because he has the big beefy machine, so that's what that noise is. If you can, I don't know if you can hear it through my mic or not, but yeah, we got dumped on the snow. I'm gonna go say hey and say thanks. Okay, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I believe I showed you the pieces. So you can see there all the cool looking pieces all divided up. Looking good. And then you just finish it off. You got the little finger hole so you can just kind of open, close. The logo turned out pretty good underneath the finish. I'm really happy with it. I think it scratches that vintage itch. Like you just walk into an antique place and then you kind of see this box and you just, I don't know. It's a vibe, but that kind of does end the saga of my custom chess set. I'm happy with it, with the magnetic board, the chess pieces. This will live in a nice place of honor whenever I need it. So yeah, got to figure out what the next project is. I really enjoy making these kinds of games and things like that, so maybe I'll figure out something else. Turned out pretty good.